Wang is head referee, first referee from China. And Vachutka from Czech Republic is our second referee, Milan Vachutka. Now, Dane, talk us through the players closely. Let's have a look at their stats, but most importantly to me, it's the young guns against the experienced campaigners, the USA first.
Yeah, first let's take a look at the 22-year-old Sarah Hughes, one of the fiercest competitors you will ever see, and with such a promising future, a beautiful defender in the backcourt, a great setter, and her partner, the full-time blocker, right-handed 21-year-old, 186 centimeters tall, which translates to 6 foot 2 inches, and that is Kelly Claes, both out of Southern California. On the other side of the net for the Brazilians, who are seated 9th in this tournament, Carolina Solberg Salgado, 29 years of age, 178 centimeters, and I'll tell you what, she packs a punch. One of the crowd favorites for sure, and she's looking to get back into the winner's circle. Has played in the World Championships before, a 5th place finish, her best, and that came with her sister, Maria Clara. Her partner, Maria Antonelli, 33 years of age, 176 centimeters tall. She was the Team of the Year back in 2014, as well as Tour Champion, playing with Juliana. She knows what it takes, got 12 victories on the World Tour. So experience on one side of the net, youth on the other.
This is going to be a fascinating center court matchup here. And for both of these teams, that success, even though they're already qualified for the elimination round, could just give them that little bit of extra confidence and edge as we go into those elimination rounds. Look at the temperature down on the sand. It is at 45 degrees Celsius and rising. It is stiflingly hot here in center court. That's good news for the Brazilians. That's the way they like to play. First point on the board for the USA. Service way too long. Sarah Claes with service. Sarah Hughes, I should say, with service. First point on the board for Maria Antonelli. As Dane has already pointed out, very experienced player. And that could be the trump card for Brazil here this afternoon.
Yeah, you know, Nick, I was down on center court earlier before the match, and I'll tell you what, it is, as you said, stifling. It is cooking hot. There's an ace serve. Kelly Claes can't get there in time. But there's really no reprieve down there. Not a lot of shade unless you get to the rest area. It's almost like you feel like you're in the middle of the desert. The hottest temperatures we have seen in the 4 days that the World Championships have been going.
Here's Carol with service. Serving cross court to Claes. Good work at the net from Sarah Hughes. Scores all tied. Now, this is Kelly Claes with service, just 21 years of age, out of California, USA. This time, opting to serve Antonelli, who attacks now for Brazil. Lovely shot from Antonelli, middle of the court and deep into the USA baseline.
Big high hit off the block. I believe that Kelly Claes is going to have to get about 4 or 5 blocks if the United States is going to be victorious here. But ball control is going to be essential. You see right there, the United States getting out of a little trouble after an errant pass. That's what they'll have to do. Control the opportunities and take advantage when things open up, because of the Brazilians, they're not going to give you much.
Hughes with service again. Serving to Antonelli. Antonelli, beautiful court vision. This time cuts it cross court.
Sarah Hughes in the right spot, but shot just too good.
Carroll with service. Serving Claes. Claes now attacks. Off the fingertips. Well, Antonelli had that covered. She'll be a little frustrated not to have had better control of the ball there. Important point on the board for the USA. Tying the scores at 4-all. Claes with a good jump serve to the middle of the Brazilian players. And Antonelli just puts that one out of play.
Yeah, that one just out of bounds. You saw Kelly Claes up at the net. A big thing for Kelly is to get up early. She's got a big block. She's got a great jump. Such a physical player. She has to put that target in front of the offense to make them go around.
Good play from the USA. Need to finish it now to make it count. All the work has been done. Good shot from Sarah Hughes.
No question about it. That was the best rally that we've had so far in this match. All the players going for it. Kelly Claes with a good drop, controlling some beautiful defense in the backcourt right there by Antonelli. But then when you give Sarah Hughes too many opportunities, she is going to make you pay with a beautiful cut shot right there.
Well, there's a good break on the cards here now for the USA. 6-4. Claes continues with an impressive point run here and some impressive serves to go with it. Jump float to Antonelli. Antonelli now attacks for Brazil. Too deep, and there's the third mistake from that position on court from Antonelli. The most experienced of the players on court. She's really struggling to find her flow and rhythm in these early exchanges, Dave.
Yeah, she just really hasn't calibrated where she wants that ball to hit. She's going for certain spots, but she's missing by about 5 or 6. So you're seeing some frustration here in the player area.
There you see the 4 back-to-back points off the service of Kelly Claes for the United States of America. Brazil call a timeout to try and stop the rhythm, break the focus or concentration of the American duo. 33 years of age now, Maria Antonelli. 11 years older than Hughes on the right of the screen there. And 12 years the senior to Kelly Claes, who goes to the back of the American court to continue with service. Let's see if the Brazilian call for timeout just has that breaking concentration that Antonelli and Carolina Solberg were hoping for. Claes again with service, still targeting Antonelli. Antonelli on the attack for Brazil. Well picked up from Claes, looks to finish. Oh, lovely shot. Good communication from her partner as well to find that line, because it looked a blind shot.
Yeah, here the ball hits the top of the net. Kelly's able to turn, get that ball up, and then rip it down the line. It's going to be very important that they exploit these opportunities. As I said, Brazil won't give you a lot, but right now Brazil having all sorts of trouble, very uncharacteristic of any Brazilian team finding the court.
Well, the timeout call hasn't stopped Kelly Claes with this successful service and points run. 5 clear, the USA. For the first time, Antonelli gets an attacking shot into the American court, not out of bounds.
Yeah, that's a good shot right there, but right now the United States is dominating in terms of exploiting weaknesses, forcing some errors by the Brazilian, and out to a 9-5 lead.
Antonelli with service. Claes now for the USA. Oh, that's a little deep, just got caught slightly off balance.
You know, Kelly Claes and Sarah Hughes absolutely dominated the college ranks in the United States. Collegiate volleyball became an NC2A official sport in 2016, and Sarah Hughes actually has 6 national championships, 3 team, 3 individual, and Kelly Claes has 5 of her own. So they absolutely dominated. Between their sophomore and junior and senior year, they had a streak of over 100 victories consecutively. So that kind of gives you an indication on how dominant they were at the level. And now they're trying to take their game up to the professional ranks.
And I love it, Jane, when people say, well, it's only collegiate sport. But look at these ladies mixing it with some of the biggest names on the world stage here. And we've seen it in many sports before. I've seen it in alpine skiing, funnily enough. People coming from the collegiate tour and easily stepping onto the World Cup tour. And we're seeing it on the beach here today.
You're absolutely right. This team is ready for the professional ranks, no question about it. And the fact that beach volleyball is an official collegiate sport, and there's so much going on at the developmental level with USA Volleyball and the NC2A in college, you're going to see a real surge in women's volleyball out of the United States in the years to come, because so many athletes are training at an even younger age than before.
Good to see. All sounds like good news. Still with the advantage, the USA. Need to keep their focus here, keep their rhythm going. Now, this is Carolina Solberg. Carol, as she goes by on court. Carol floats the ball into the net. And that is a valuable point score, 13-7. And this would be beautiful if the Americans could go into the tech timeout at 14-7. Here's Kelly Claes, who's been having some impressive service runs in this opening first set. Oh, that's a good shot from Antonelli. She's starting to get her eye in now. Little off the mark, but now right on. Still a very impressive scoreline for the American duo of Kelly Claes and Sarah Hughes. Comfortably ahead of the Brazilians at the halfway point of set one.
Yeah, this is a big surprise that they are controlling the Brazilians right here, which looks pretty easy. It's because they're in the right position. They're doing everything. They're playing smart volleyball right now. Let's take a listen.
Maybe I still have to take a step over. I just don't think something big. That's fine. Okay. That's awesome. I like that. And we'll go from there, okay? Hey, that's a great switch. Now we keep it. Exactly. Great job, Sarah.
And of course, the big benefit for these two American players, having won so many matches in a partnership on that collegiate tour day, and they don't have to communicate much. They've been through just about every possible scenario you can imagine. They know how to deal with it. It's just that they're on the world stage today rather than the collegiate stage yesterday.
Yeah, the big thing is the competition on the other side of the net is much more fierce, and they will be tested. But as I mentioned, they got to limit those unforced errors. Right there, Kelly Claes just missing the back line. It's plays like that that have kind of hindered them at times. And as they continue to get more experience, they will continue to get more consistent.
Oh, unlucky. Kelly Claes at the net there. Was in the right position, had the hand there in time. Just poked the ball out of the court. Brazil coming back at the USA now, 10-13. Side out's important for the Americans at this point in the first set. Maria Antonelli with service. Good set from Hughes. And this time Claes gets the ball away.
That's just a beautiful hit. The Americans in a little bit of trouble after that pass, but they recover. That's the sign of a great team, when you don't pass the ball well, but you're able to recover and still win the point.
Sorry, Hughes serving Antonelli. It's been their tactic throughout this first set. Good cover from Hughes. Can she finish it? Oh, she just gets a little on top of the ball, puts it out of play.
Yeah, those are the plays you just have to make at this level if you're going to beat great teams. You make the big play, and I say it a lot when Larissa's playing. One of the best ever at not only digging the ball, but converting. Because when you dig a ball, that's half the play. To complete it, you got to put the ball away. And that time, Sarah Hughes just missing by a few inches.
Carol with service. Claes on the receive, Claes on the attack. Nice vision. Watching both of the Brazilians drop back off the net, lays it up short. It's there, these American girls take. Just needs a little bit of finesse. They've got all the moves and all the quality.
Oh, absolutely. The potential's there, and there's no question they will be winning tournaments. it's just a matter of experience. You know, it's hard to come out at 20, 21 and win tournaments. It's an experience game, and usually you see mid-20s, late 20s when you start to really dominate. I expect these girls to be dominating earlier than that, but it does take time, and you want to be patient.
Yeah.
You want to be patient.
Let's see if they can show and hold their nerve here now, the Americans. Oh, that's a service ace from Maria Antonelli, the number 2 for Brazil in the green and yellow shirts. Side switch, total of 28 points on the board. Remember, we switch sides every 7 points, and a calculus of 7 thereon. This is where, once again, the American youngsters need to hold their nerve. Antonelli with service, this time going to Hughes. Claes sets the ball for her partner. And that's a lovely little shot. Very, very powerful as well from Hughes. Just letting those Brazilian ladies know that they can both attack at the net.
Yeah, a little extra on it right there by Sarah. She was not happy about that ace on the previous play.
Antonelli, well, that's experience for you. Gives Hughes a piece of her own medicine there, fires it right back at the young American.
Yeah, Brazil going right back. I believe that is Salgado right there, ripping that serve. 16-14, the thing getting a little close after a solid lead by the Americans early.
Claes, little touch of the ball, taking advantage of being the tallest player on the court at 1.88 m, 6'2". Important point for the USA. 3 clear. Claes with service. Solberg with the set. Oh, and that was unfortunate for America.
Yeah, nice little control shot right there by Maria Antonelli. Coming in, little poke shot. Sarah Hughes drifting to her left. And right now things will start to tighten up since we're at the end of the set. And how about that? A little reverse poke shot for Kelly Claes. The nice thing about both of these teams right now, they have the luxury, they have both won their first 2 pool play matches. That means they both will be advancing to the knockout single elimination round, but it's all about fine-tuning right now. Kelly Claes has it dialed in.
Lovely set for Claes here. Oh, but an even better block at the net from Carolina Solberg.
Check out Solberg up at the net. Her timing is perfect. And that's so important with blocking. If you're too early, you don't block it. If you're too late, you're not there in time. You got to be right on time. And that's a sign of a good blocker.
Here's Carol Solberg with service. Oh, that's not the best set that you could have hoped for. And the Americans pay the price for it. Sarah Hughes not doing her partner any favors there.
Well, just a little bit too aggressive on the set. And you're seeing just some kind of youthful errors happen with some aces that shouldn't be there, some balls hit out of bounds right there. The set just a few inches too close to the net. Kelly Claes couldn't handle it. And right now, the Brazilians have momentum. Very important for the Americans to side out right here.
Carol with service once again. Float serve to Claes. Good shot from Sarah Claes. Now that's a big side out for the Americans at 19-17. It was a big discussion earlier today, Dane, before we came on the air, how the Brazilians have this skill of holding their nerve when we get right down to the business end of proceedings. Now it's a test for the American ladies to prove that they too can hold their nerve.
Shot down the line, and that is in the court. Sarah Hughes looked like she was in striking distance to get it. But here's where things get a little tight. This is what separates the good teams from the great teams. Closing and having that next level, that next gear to finish off the set.
Great shot from Claes. Kelly Claes gives the United States of America set point here. Let's not forget these young Americans are seeded just 16 in comparison to the 9th seed ranking of the Brazilians. Hughes with the service. And that is too deep. 21-18 to the youngsters from the USA. Dane, they're absolutely delighted, and they've every reason to be so.
Yeah, I mean, if they can win their pool, which would be the case if they win this match right here, it would really give them the confidence needed going into those knockout rounds. That play, Sarah Hughes was running down the line. She was perfectly there, let it go out of bounds. Very smart play as the Americans win 21-18. We didn't see a lot of aces or a lot of blocks on either side of the net. There was a couple of aces for the Brazilians and just one block in that entire first set, that going to Solberg Salgado. But the Americans, they were steadier and they got that lead early. They were able to hold on to it. For them to improve, once they get a lead like that, you don't want to let it get down to 2 or 3. You want to expand on that and really start to crush teams. But Hughes and Claes right now, I'm sure they're thinking the Brazilians, they're going to come out of this little break here and they might be a little bit of a different team. You know, that first set, they didn't look as sharp, and they're going to have to turn up the heat if they are going to take them down once again.
Well, there's Peter the Painter, who has been commissioned to create an oil painting of this 11th FIVB World Championship of Beach Volleyball presented by A1. Well, you're absolutely right, Dane. They're Brazilians coming all fired up, but a little too much fire there from Carol. Just overhitting the ball. First point on the board for the Americans, who have won the first set 21-18.
Oh, there's a joust at the net. Antonelli getting the best. You know, usually when you have a joust, the player that is a little shorter has that leverage to push up into the taller Kelly Claes here, and that's exactly what happened. Ball ends up on the United States side.
Antonelli with service. This time serving Hughes. Claes goes over on 2. That's a nice shot.
Such a smart shot. We haven't seen that over on 2, and Sarah Hughes passes the ball perfectly, so you have that option. You want your setter to be able to set you or go over on 2. That keeps the defense guessing.
Oh, that's another perfect shot. Maria Antonelli, who missed a few of those in the opening set, is not missing many in the early exchanges of the second.
Yeah, this is a really nicely placed cross-court shot, and I'll tell you what, very fortunate. Just hits the outside of the line.
Good shot from Sarah Hughes there. Good court vision, seeing both the Brazilians just a little deep in their own court, lays it over short. Advantage back with the USA. It's 3 points to 2. Here is Hughes with service. Oh, a serve for Sarah Hughes.
Yeah, you'd like to see a little more of that from the United States. Sarah Hughes opts for a jump floater 9 out of 10 times, and Kelly Claes, she's got a really big topspin serve. And Nick, you know, we saw it over the last couple days, some players with really great topspin serve. If I'm remembering, Saxton from Canada had a great topspin serve. April Ross, of course, a 4-time FIVB server of the year. She's got that great topspin serve, but you don't see it a lot. A lot of players have opted to do the jump float serve. So I believe the United States, if they turn up the heat from the serving end, they'll really control this second set.
So with the advantage, Brazil have service. Antonelli serving right to the middle of the 2 American players, but it's Hughes who takes the receive, and it's Hughes who finishes it off. Just showing the opposition that she's got some power play to her game.
Great approach on the right side, takes that step in, nice straight approach, no block at the net. And Sarah Hughes, she'll make you pay every time. That ball just going long. You know, Sarah Hughes played high school volleyball indoor where she was a setter and a right side player, and she was actually the first collegiate player to commit to playing beach volleyball full time, so a pioneer in that regard.
Well, Claes takes that one right on the chest, almost in the face.
Yeah, that's how effective a jump float can be. You have to move your feet, you have to kind of stay away from the ball. If it gets right up in your chest, neck region, it's all over.
And Brazil take the lead for the first time in the second set, 6 points to 5. Good service run here from Carolina Salgado Solberg. Goes by the name of Carol on court. Of course, the Brazilians have to win the second set to take it to a third tiebreak. And a good call from Claes. Service way too long. Scores all tied.
It's funny, you see that happen so many times. They got Claes on the ace, that high chest ace, and then she poked a ball out of bounds. And then the Brazilians, they let her completely off the hook by serving the ball out of bounds. Those little things can be a huge difference in terms of scoring runs and consistency. Right here, the Brazilians seeing the court so well, going right over the top.
Another good serve from Antonelli. Second ace serve of the match.
Yeah, that can't happen right there. They have to start passing more consistent. Kelly Claes right now, they're targeting her. They've aced her a couple times, and now they go to Sarah Hughes, and she makes you pay. Another interesting play for me, you get a couple of aces off of Kelly Claes, and then you go the other direction. And Sarah Hughes crushes that ball cross court. So I don't believe, the smartest of decisions there for Brazil.
Claes it is with service. Service error. That's a little frustrating for the Americans, going for the ace serve while the scores are close. But a break for Brazil, 2 points clear, 9-7. This is Carol with service. Now let's see if they go with the Kelly Claes plan again. Nope, this time they go to Hughes.
Wow, how about Antonelli with a one-handed stab?
And over on 2, works for Claes. As you call, Dane, a fantastic save from Antonelli.
Little drop shot there, and then Sarah Hughes tries to give Kelly the option. It's a little low, but still, they get the kill and the point. A little equipment adjustment there for Solberg Salgado, cleaning off the glasses. Maybe a little gamesmanship, trying to slow things down and not burn a timeout.
Sarah Hughes with service. Antonelli coming up to the net to attack for Brazil. Both the Americans drop off the net. A good set for Hughes to finish this, but Antonelli covers well. Antonelli now on the attack and spots a lovely piece of open court. That's the class quality of Antonelli that has brought her 14 wins in her career. And of course, World Championship bronze twice, 2015 and in 2009 with a different partner, where Antonelli took bronze in World Championship competition. Here she is with the serve. And that's a good shot from Claes.
Yeah, and it all started off with Kelly Claes getting that platform out early, passing the ball, and I say it so many times, Nick, when you pass that first initial contact to the right spot, it really opens up your offense all the way around.
Yes, that was a little long. Those were the problems that Antonelli was experiencing in the first set. Now let's see if the USA can go 11-10, 1 point clear, as we head into the technical timeout after this point. Well, that's not the best serve receive, but Carol gets her partner out of trouble with a beautiful strike over on 2. Halfway second set, Brazil have the advantage, 11 points to 10 over the United States of America, but the Americans have already won the first set, 21-18. Brazil need to win this, the second, if they're to take it to a tiebreak third.
Great job. Can you keep fighting?
Well, in these extremely hot conditions, 30 degrees Celsius plus here on centre court. Hydration is key. Interesting to note, Dane, neither team has called a timeout yet. We could see quite a tactical second half to this second set. We've also seen no challenges on court either. So there's still a lot of cards up the sleeves of both teams here to try and use to their advantage, because Brazil have to win this second set to stay in the match.
Yeah, the pressure's all on Brazil right now. It's a very tight matchup. The Brazilians have really been giving away some points with some mishit, unforced errors, and the United States just has to continue to exploit it. There's another beautiful dig. Brazil playing some really spectacular defense, but you gotta put the ball away.
Oh, Hughes just gets the wrong angle on that ball. That's a shame for the Americans, because they seem to have done all the work, Dane. I see you shaking your head here.
Well, I mean, you dig a ball and you have this opportunity, and you have to swing if you want to win points here. Here's a poke shot, and not only is it going to be dug by the defender, but it's not even in right there. You got to be aggressive. Roll the dice, go for it, use your physicality, and finish off those transition points.
It's a break for Brazil now, and they'll look to capitalize on that point. Carroll with service. Serves Claes. Good set from Hughes. And a good angle on the ball.
Beautiful shot. If Kelly Claes is hitting that angle shot, it opens up pretty much everything for her. She can go back down the line, and her biggest strength is her power. She's got just a rocket of an arm.
That's a great serve from Hughes, but Antonelli receives perfectly. Now this is where Hughes needs to finish. Oh, the block is there, but the ball is still up. And a little help from the net. Over on 2 for Brazil. Regroup now, USA, and attack. And Hughes puts it cross court, deep into the corner. That was what you were calling a few moments ago, Dane. I think they heard you.
I love that. Sarah Hughes hit and got blocked, which is fine. Kelly Claes made a spectacular cover, and then Hughes gets a second chance. There's the dig, the cover by Kelly Claes, the left hand. And then once you give Sarah Hughes another opportunity, what she does, instead of poking this time, even though tired, that's when you want to rip the ball. And that's why the United States ends up winning the point. Here's a good look again. She gets outside and just crushes that ball across court. It's all about being aggressive. All about being aggressive in transition. That's how you score those points.
Good service again from Hughes. Antonelli on the attack for Brazil. And she pushes the ball out of play. 13-12, advantage back with the USA. Good service run from Hughes.
I'll tell you what, if I'm the United States, I'm going to Antonelli every single time, because she is giving up a lot of unforced errors, missing the lines just by a few inches, but still it's out, and still it results in a point.
Well, they're going to Antonelli, but this time she gets one in. But for every one that's in, our expert analyst here in the box, Olympic champion Dane Blanton, has called it one is in. There are 2 that are out, and that is helping the Americans stay in this second set. Antonelli's at the back of the Brazilian court with service. This time serving Hughes. Oh, and that's fallen the American side of the net.
And those are just errors you can't have. The cross court, the idea of the shot is perfect. It's spot on. But the execution, just not there. Dropped her elbow a little bit.
Oh, the kiss off the tape of the net from the serve of Antonelli. Just makes it near on impossible for Hughes to dig that one out of the sand. She gives it a good try.
Yeah, it's tough. On your heels, thinking that ball's going to come over cleanly, and when it clips the top of the net, it makes it very difficult to switch directions.
Oh, no, well, that could be the turning point of this second set to the disadvantage of the USA. Hughes just watched that ball go down and touch the line. A perfect service.
Yeah, it's all about runs of points right now. And the Brazilians, I'll tell you what, are just rattling off points in bunches, and that's what you cannot afford. Kind of ripping that line down Sarah Hughes' line, and I think a smart timeout right there by the United States. Things getting a little out of hand. Trying to stay cool. Remember, it is stifling hot. There's maybe a slight breeze. That's why you see the ice on the head of Kelly Claes. She's trying to stay as cool as possible. There's the points runs in the bottom left-hand corner. 4 unanswered points right there for the Brazilians. It's all about that serve reception game, that side-out game. You have to pass the ball, give yourself an opportunity to run the offense, and the Americans have been a bit erratic in the last few points. They need to get back on track, and the way you do it, get that platform out early, really read the shoulder of Antonelli and get a good pass.
Well, this time, for a second time of asking, Hughes leaves the serve, but it's out of play, fortunately for the Americans. Kelly Claes now with service for the USA. Back of the court, here she goes. America needs some quick points on the board here. Over on 2 from Brazil, and the ball is out of play. A little bit of luck for the USA now. 2 forced errors from the Brazilians immediately off the back of the timeout.
Solberg, Salgado just out of bounds, going for that X in the corner.
No such problem this time. 17-15, the break is back with Brazil. 2 points clear of the USA.
Carolina Salgado, of course, her sister Maria Clara, which she got a 5th in the World Championships with, and her brother Pedro Salgado. Her mother also a pro beach player in her day, Isabel. We sometimes refer to them as the first family of beach volleyball, Nick.
Big point for the USA. Just one adrift of Brazil now. Such an impressive story day in the Salgado story. And they're all as passionate for the game as each other. They really do bring so much energy with them to center court. There is Salgado with the set for Antonelli. Antonelli over the top of the block of Claes. No question that ball is comfortably inside the American court. 2 points clear again, Brazil.
Yeah, a lot of people tabbing Sarah Hughes, Kelly Claes, the future, of course, of United States beach volleyball. They have their sights for sure set on 2020 in Tokyo. Well, that ball hit out of bounds, so a 3-point lead for the Brazilians. You know, the only player on court who has been to the Olympics, that is Maria Antonelli, playing in the 2012 London Games with her partner Talita at the time. There's the temperature above 50 degrees Celsius, if you can believe it, on the sand.
Oh, costly error from Hughes. Set point for Brazil. The first of 4. And it looks like we're heading to a tie break here. Antonelli. Service to Hughes. Claes goes over on 2, puts the ball out of play. And that last session from the technical timeout of the second set to the end. For the first time, we just see a little lack of experience from the 2 rising stars of the USA. We're heading into a third set, a tie-break third set, where we'll go to 15 points. You have to be 2 clear, of course, rather than 21. There's the last shot of the second set. Good service. But I'm not quite sure what Claes was thinking here, trying to go over on 2 rather than set Hughes. And it allows Brazil to take the second set at 21-16. Tough one to call this, Dane, going into the third tiebreak. How would you advise the Americans if you were their coach? Because the statistics, with exception to the aces stat, are nice and even, Stephen.
Yeah, but that aces is a big stat, a +4 for the Brazilians. And I believe, Nick, fellows, you are becoming the expert because you question what was Kelly Claes thinking with a pass 7 feet off the net, and she decides to flat-footed go over on the second contact instead of set her partner. Those are the decisions that really have to be rectified. You have to figure out that that's not the smart play. And if you continue to make those types of decisions, then you're going to let teams into the match that you probably should be taking care of. And the big question is, how quickly can they start playing a little smarter? And I always refer to volleyball IQ. That's what it's all about.
They're learning fast, but they need to learn even quicker out here against Brazil on a scintillatingly hot center court. Not just the play, but also the temperature. The first point almost on the board. Oh, first point on this sprint third set goes to Brazil. 15 points needed rather than 21. You have to be 2 points clear.
Beautiful dig, and then Salgado ripping it away from body right down the line outside the block of Kelly Claes.
Oh, and another forced error from Kelly Claes. Didn't get the set anywhere near her partner Hughes. They need to just keep the focus here, starting to just let the head go down a little, maybe a little tired in the heat. That wouldn't be a surprise. But America need to dig deep now.
Oh, you know the setting right now. Kelly Claes all over the court. First set was way off the net. Sarah Hughes trying to make it happen. The second set, Kelly tries to make the adjustment, this time going way too tight, giving Brazil the complete opening to win that point. Oh, wow, look at that.
You can't leave those serves, even whether it's looking like it's going out. The amount of spin on the ball. Brilliant service from Antonelli.
That's a beautiful serve. It's so hard to serve line to line. You have to line it up perfectly. And if that ball drifts at all, it goes out of bounds. So that's a beautiful ace by Antonelli. And then she gives it right back. So finally, the Americans on the board here. And what you mentioned, Nick, a sprint. You cannot get in too deep of a hole. It's very important that the Americans somehow manufacture some points here and get a little closer here.
Kelly Claes need to refocus. Maybe a service run will help. Carol Solberg at the net, and confidence is an all-time high in this center court match now for the Brazilian ladies.
That's a high, nice shot right over the block. Block is there a little bit too late, and it gives the offensive player a lot of comfort if they don't see that block early.
There's Carol serving. Claes is definitely becoming the target of the Brazilian. Oh, a little help from the net, but it bounces off the tape and out of bounds. 6-1, 5 points clear. There is no technical timeout in the third set, but each team can still call their own 30-second timeout. Carol again with service. Brazil starting to march away with this third and final set. Oh, and the referee doesn't like that set either.
She thought that the set was held a little bit too long. That's a lift call. You either get a lift or a double. She's saying that she deep dished it, brought it a little too low, held it, and it's a judgment call. Some referees will allow that, some call it a little tighter. That's the first lift call we've seen of the match. Big break right there. You're seeing the Americans are making calls for one another. Kelly Claes makes that call high line to Sarah Hughes, but it's too early. Antonelli's listening to the call, slides in there, has an opportunity, but then she errs. Antonelli's giving away a lot of points. You want to pinpoint her. That's a nice little roll. But you got to remember, Antonelli does have the most experience, 14 overall wins, 12 on the World Tour. And I mentioned earlier, she was Team of the Year on the FIVB circuit with Juliana in 2014. They also won the Tour Championship. So she's been to the top of the game. Also, the only Olympian on court.
Claes with a set ball, a better set for Hughes. Hughes goes cross court, and they're a clear example, A, how to side out, and B, the placement of that set from your partner to allow the attack to work and work well. Good shot from Hughes, cross court now. Can America get back into this match? They're trailing by 5, but we're only heading to 15. Big service from Claes. Antonelli just gets her hands on it. Antonelli now attacks from way off the net. Another good set for Hughes. Antonelli covers. Antonelli attacks. Oh, and look at that for a rainbow shot. Well, once again, Antonelli, who never gives up, shows her experience and shows her quality play date.
Yeah, she gets blocked, stays in there, covers the ball, and then, as you mentioned, a beautiful rainbow shot to the corner. How about the command and the control? The thing is, the United States kind of took it to the Brazilians early on, and maybe they thought that Brazil was going to just roll over, but with the experience of Antonelli and Solberg Salgado, they're going to stay in there. They're going to keep working, and that's what they've done, and now they are in complete control of the match, just 6 points away from winning the pool.
Oh, another good shot from Antonelli. Dane, you mentioned it to me earlier today. The Brazilians have this uncanny skill of if they have a bad set, they just move on, you said. Those were the words you used. They've forgotten about it as quick as they've lost it, and a fresh set is almost like a fresh game for them. And this is something that these young Americans need to learn, I think.
Yeah, you want to have what we call a short memory. After you have something go poorly, or even if it goes great, you want to let it go. See how scrappy right now the Brazilians are, and then Claes decides to go flat-footed once again, doesn't jump, and tries to be sneaky down the line, and this ball is out of bounds. There's a groveling, the scrappy play by Brazil, giving themselves yet another opportunity. Actually, a little jump there by Kelly Claes, but I believe she has to set Sarah Hughes. Sarah Hughes is a great offensive player, and unless you see the shot on two, you can't take it unless you're for sure.
Brazil are in control of this third set, 11-4 up against the USA. They lost the first, have won the second, and they've kept that momentum going.
Here we go. Let's go.
And it's the calling card of so many of the Brazilian teams. Never giving up, often coming back from what looks like an impossible scenario. Good shot from Hughes. Can America come back from this? 5-11. Claes goes to the back of court to serve.
Sarah Hughes, really deceptive right there. When she jumps high and looks like she's going to hit the ball and then shoots, that's when she's most effective. Kelly Claes giving it right back to Brazil, and can't have that at this point. Brazil just 3 points away. The United States is going to have to play some perfect and spectacular volleyball if they expect to get back into this one.
They'll take that point. Hughes.
Hughes, such a good player. You know, she has an older brother who's a two-time national champion indoor volleyball at the University of California, Irvine, so very athletic family. Oh, wow, how about that dig by Hughes?
And she finishes it as well. Now that's the kind of play and kind of point on the board that could inspire and motivate Team USA to try and get back into this third and final set.
Awesome beautiful set and save by Kelly Claes. And then I love the drop shot by Sarah Hughes. And then right back. You cannot give away those points, especially when you get some momentum going. And right then, a missed serve really kills that momentum, especially at this juncture of the match. Brazil in complete control, just 2 points away from being the top seed out of their pool.
Antonelli with service. Serving Hughes, Claes with the set for her partner. And Antonelli has a fantastic cover, but the point goes to the USA. 8-13.
Well, the damage has been done. Brazil in complete command. If you're the United States, you're going to look at this tape and say, wow, did we make some difficult and timely errors and just some not very smart shots at times, which gave Brazil the complete advantage.
Yeah, Claes there with the service error gives Brazil match point here. No choice but to go over on 2 for Hughes. And the ball is still up. But again, Claes caught flat-footed. And it's all over for America. 15-8 in the third set to Brazil. After such a promising first set, beating the Brazilians 21-18. Antonelli and Salgado come back to win the second set 21-16. The tie-break third set at 15-8. Experience coming to the fore over the young rising stars from the USA. Brazil win Pool I, win their group. And after a slight wobble in the first set, once again, Dane, we see that focus, that skill, that uncanny ability to forget about the first set and come back and win the next two with such positive, powerful play.
Yeah, the Americans looked so promising at the beginning of that match, but then they just took their foot off the gas, and it was Brazil who stayed consistent despite making a lot of unforced errors early. They stuck with it, and then it just seemed like the Americans ran out of gas, weren't making smart shots, and then this is the way it ends. A cut shot that almost doesn't even touch the net. The Americans are going to have to look at this tape and really decide how they're going to approach the match, because they had the Brazilians, like if a prize fighter had someone up against the ropes, that was the case right there. There is that final set, 15-8, not even close right there, but by no means are the Americans out of the tournament. They will probably finish second in the pool, and they will advance to the knockout rounds, which will begin on Wednesday for the women.
Well, Brazil come back very strong in sets 2 and 3. Let's see exactly how they went about their business in those last two sets with our reporter, Julius Brink, down on centre court.